2022 has certainly been a busy year regarding bike tech, with big launches from major brands like Trek, Giant and Shimano, along with some hits from less expected sources. Here's a look at the top 10 tech stories of the year just gone, according to you. Our list is based on page views alone, as simple as that. The more of you who clicked, the higher the story is in our top 10, and a few of these you'll probably guess, others we're pretty confident you won't. We were surprised by the popularity of a couple of off-the-wall ones, and if you want to dig deeper on any of these stories, then you can find them over on the road.cc website. Right, let's get cracking. Giant launched its new Propel in August with a facelift that makes Simon Cowell's latest effort look subtle. When the new bike was spotted in the wild just before launch, some even doubted that it was a Propel at all. Giant ditched the ultra-deep section tubes of previous iterations, but still claimed that the new model improves aerodynamic drag by 6.21 watts at 40 kilometers an hour. You want more stats? Of course you do. The top-level Giant Propel Advanced SL frame set is said to be 225.5 grams lighter than before, it's 9.2% stiffer, and the back end is 85% more compliant. That's some stats for you. Lighter, stiffer, more comfortable, more aero, faster. It looks like Giant maxed out on the PR claims with this one. And we can't comment on any of Giant's claims because although we've had a visit from the Propel Advanced SL, we are yet to actually ride the thing, so we'll wait for that in 2023. There is also, of course, the Advanced Pro and Advanced models available too for a smaller price tag, so we'll update you on all of them as soon as we can. Puncture-proof tyres. Yep, they sound great, but puncture-proof tyres made of metal? Okay, slightly less appealing, but we're willing to be persuaded. Back in January, we told you about the second generation metal tyres from the Smart tyre company, after the original was unveiled in 2021. The Smart tyre company says that the tyres use the same airless shape memory technology that NASA used in its super elastic tyre on Mars rover missions to eliminate the possibility of punctures at all. Well, if they're designed for Mars, ready for Earth, that is a great tagline actually. The tyres are made from an advanced lightweight material known as nitinol plus, I think, nickel and titanium anyway, which the company claims allows them to be elastic like rubber, but as strong as titanium. This means that it will hold perfect shape memory without going flat, while still ensuring a smooth ride, allegedly. There's no need for tubes or regular maintenance. The Smart tyre company says that the final product will be integrated with a special poly rubber material for the longest lasting tread and grip for all weather conditions. The tread will be replaceable and the tyres will retail for around $100 to $150. That's 85 to 125 pounds, I think. The exchange rate will probably have changed by the time you watch this anyway, so. You remember the launch of the Bianchi Oltre RC? No? Well, this is the bike with air deflectors on it, so yeah, now you remember. Loads of you commented on this story, and it's fair to say that the reception was frosty. Bianchi unveiled 3 different levels of the Oltre, the top level RC coming with the air deflectors, the Oltre Pro and the Oltre with no suffix coming without. Bianchi says that these create a low pressure zone at the rear of the tube to help aerodynamic drag. The action of the deflectors complements the performance of the new aero cockpit apparently, which generates low pressure air vortices directed towards the legs of the moving athlete through a centrally located hole, i.e. they've nicked it off the Cervelo. Okay, but the UCI was having none of it and they immediately banned the air deflectors. Luckily, they're just held on with a few bolts, so they are quite easy to remove. We spend a ridiculous amount of time scrolling through endless patents in search of the next big thing in cycling, and most of them are absolute tosh. That'll never see the light of day in a million years. But just occasionally though, we stumble across something we'd really actually quite like to use, such as this Shimano handlebar design with Di2 switches recessed into the top sections. With Shimano's new handlebar design, the switch is positioned at least partially internally and is covered to provide a visually pleasing appearance. That's according to their patent. Who doesn't like visually pleasing appearance? Well, Shimano suggests that this switch could be operated through a flexible cover that keeps the water out. Even better. Believe it or not, Insta 360's third-person bike handlebar mount, which allows you to fit a camera to the front of your bike and capture footage of both yourself and the surroundings as you ride, was the subject of one of our most popular tech stories of 2022. More of you read about a selfie stick than anything from Specialized, for example. What a vain bunch of you are. Essentially, you mount a camera on a stick that extends out in front of your handlebar. An Insta 360 One X2, or we assume now the X3, now that that's been released, it allows you to capture 200-degree view of whatever you're riding through. Then Insta360's proprietary algorithm stitches all the images together using the overlap between the two to hide the extension pole. And this is all done automatically, so when viewing the shots in the Insta360 app, it's just like the rider and the world around you. Sounds good to us. Anyway, it's got built-in stabilization. The handlebar mount itself, it costs $41.99, and we've got a Insta360 X3 camera on its way to have a play with, so look out for that video in the future. At number 5, we have the British folding bike brand Brompton unveiling its lightest ever model back in January. The new titanium Brompton T-Line is available in single speed and 4-speed versions, the lowest weight option being just 7.45 kilos. That's pretty damn light when you consider the tech involved in making it a folder. Strong, durable hinges aren't light, you know. At the new facility in Sheffield, the frame is precision engineered in titanium and then orbital and TIG welded for strength, says Brompton. The T-Line is comparable to a carbon road bike, yet it can be comfortable ridden by a 110 kilogram rugby player and withstand the punishing impact of the city. Brompton really went all out on their marketing. It features a patent-pending drivetrain that sits inside the fold, including a carbon chain set so that you can be the coolest kid on your commute, I guess. The initial Brompton T-Line bikes start at 3,750 quid for the single speed module, up to 3,950 quid for the 4-speed model. And you can read more about them over on the road.cc website. Oh, crikey, I thought we'd heard the last of this one. Okay, so you know that Mips, multi-direction impact protection system, has been an ingredient brand for helmet manufacturers for years, providing systems designed to protect your brain from injury in the event of certain types of impact, i.e. rotational ones. Anyway, Italian helmet brand Kask rejects the need for Mips and has recently introduced its internal testing, which it calls rotational impact WG11 testing, another catchy name. Anyway, Kask presented its reasoning to us, which you can check out on the road.cc website, though you'll need to get yourself a cup of coffee first because there's a lot of detail. A fair amount of it about the head forms used in testing and committees. Don't say you haven't been warned. Anyway, that got Mips' back up, and the Swedish company defended the efficacy of its helmet safety systems, saying that its test methods meet the highest scientific standards and its results are based on the most realistic head form currently available. Did we reach a resolution? No, we didn't. But we might get some sort of agreement when CEN, the European Committee of Standardization, introduces a rotational impact testing requirement for bike helmets. When will that be? Nobody knows for sure, but I hope it's soon to stop all this squabbling. Sometimes, as with that Kask feature previously, we spend a lot of time visiting labs, interviewing engineers, reading scientific papers, and generally digging deep into the research before crafting a feature that addresses a lot of pertinent questions. And then that feature will get its ass kicked in terms of traffic by a video we saw on YouTube. Not this one. It pains me to share it again, but this bike is pretty mental. At number 2, we're getting close to the top spot now. We were walking along, minding our own business, just before the start of the Criterium de Dauphiné, when Jasper Stuyven pedalled past on his way back to the Trek Segafredo team bus, riding a previously unseen Trek Madone SLR with a huge hole in the seat post. And we set off in hot pursuit. A zillion photos, and an hour later we were able to present a world exclusive until everyone else jumped on board. All those air miles and nights in cheap and sometimes very smelly hotels do sometimes pay off. Trek launched the bike a month later, telling us that the ISOFlow technology, that hole does have an official name, provides dramatic aerodynamic improvement while reducing weight compared with the ISOSpeed system used on the previous Madone. Naturally, Trek made a whole bunch of claims for the new bike that we can't check, chief among them being that the new model is 60 seconds per hour quicker than the previous generation thanks to the new aero frame shaping, a redesigned bar and stem, and more aerodynamic riding position. Now, we think that is sort of cheating when you're getting all those watt savings from changing a rider's position, but oh well. Trek's new design is only on the Madone SLR, but we wonder if the ISOFlow will also make it onto a Madone SL for say in 2023. And in number 1 spot, it is of course Shimano 105, reportedly the world's most popular group set. It did of course join its siblings Dura-Ace and Ultegra in making the switch to electric shifting in 2022, and it became 12-speed only and disc brake only too. We spotted user manuals of the dual control and shifters and the rear derailleur back in June, and Shimano launched the group set 2 weeks later. It was a huge update for 105 with loads of tech trickling down from the higher levels. Unfortunately for some, mechanical shifting and rim brakes weren't invited to the party. We have actually been hugely impressed by the Shimano 105 R7100. The shift quality is excellent, the braking is powerful, and the gap in performance to the more expensive group set in Shimano's range is very small. We're big fans of the new generation, but it does cost over 1,700 quid, which is not great. Anyway, what were your favourite cycling tech stories of the year? Let us know down in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this content, then please give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.